3, 2, 1.
Let's go!
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Everybody, welcome. It is Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's us, Divine and Diane, the ladies of Ladies and Lyrics. Welcome to another show. Let's see if you are on here live with us and on time. Go ahead and say, hey, what's up? How you doing? Hey, y'all. Happy Wednesday. Yes. Let's see, y'all. Okay, bam. Today's like the first day I think that I've been sharing this show in a while that I was able to just jump right in there and share. So let's see who's here on time. Let's say hi. Hey, Jackie. How are
Jackie,
you? Welcome to the show.
haven't seen you in
Hey,
a minute.
Tiger.
Hey, Tiger.
Jackie, wait a minute. What does it say? The lady. Okay, the tax lady. Hey, Tiger. Who else is on here? To be alive here with us on time today. Go ahead and say hi. Hey, Eula.
Hi,
Hey,
Eula.
y'all. How y'all doing today? How are y'all doing today? I know it's been a crazy 24 hours. Hey, hey, Mo. Hey, Elijah. Happy Wednesday. Oh my God, it's been a crazy 24 hours, y'all. I know some of us are feeling some kind of way. Some of us may not be, but we're going to talk about that in a few minutes because, you know, I will let y'all know right now I am tired. So if it's like, oh, the body seems like she's tired tonight. Yes, you are right. I am exhausted, but I was not going to not be here with y'all tonight. Had to be here, especially since we're winding down to the end of this season. It's been a really great season. Love being on here with y'all. But I'm telling you, it's a struggle tonight. So I'm going to need y'all to help me keep going for this hour. But we have a lot to talk about and get into. So let us say hi to a few more people. Happy President. Okay, explain that a little bit more, Jackie. And then see y'all working. You know, we always got to come with the earrings. Thank you, Tiger. Always recognizing our
Thank
earrings.
you.
We always got to come through with some earrings. We like some ear candy over here on Ladies and Lyrics. And we like to be recognized. So I'm going to ask my co-host. I already said how I'm feeling, but I'm going to ask Diane how she's feeling tonight. Diane, how are you feeling tonight?
One thing that I'm always feel is wonderful in spite of. I feel
Okay.
wonderful in spite of.
All
I still
right. Wonderful in spite of.
in
Love it. All right. So since we have so much to get into tonight, let's go ahead and get started and jump into this show. Let's get ready. Diane, are you ready for some good music, some real talk with us dope women?
Absolutely. I was trying to share the show on Facebook.
All
But I'll
right.
wait till you share it.
Let's get into it then, y'all. So
Yes.
a couple of things are top of mind. So we just go ahead and jump into this election 2024 that we had.
Some
And
good,
check y'all temperature, see how you feeling.
some real talk with us dope women.
Hmm.
We're gonna get into some good music.
Oh yeah, I said it already, Diane.
You see, that's what happened when your mind is someplace. Pay attention. Pay attention. Here I am.
And you said, yeah. You know I didn't forget. Yes. Okay. So anyway, we're gonna jump into this. I know, Diane, you probably have a lot to say. Let's just talk about it because it's out there. We're gonna talk about it tonight. And then I'm moving on. I would tell you all that I went to sleep last night because I was not staying up watching it. I already was on pins and needles. I still have not. I will not get on social media. I will not watch any news because I just don't want to hear about it. But drop it in the chat, Diane, and then I want you to just chime in. Drop it in the chat if you have no feelings. If you feel indifferent, drop that in the chat. How do you feel? One word to describe how you feel after the election results last night. Drop that in the chat. And while you all are dropping it in the chat, Diane, let's hear from you. How was your night? How are you feeling about the election
My night
result?
was good. I just was tossing and turning. I mean, went to sleep, then I woke up and said, let me see what's going on. And oh boy. But I really, really thought that Kamala was gonna win. But it also America they didn't change. They didn't, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to see a woman president, and they also don't want a black woman president. So that to me speaks volume. And it doesn't even matter what the repercussions are for this person being in the White House. But I also feel that people say, who's in charge? God is really in charge. I do believe that. And I feel like he set us up already, right? 2020, everything was shut down because we so dependent on the government, or we want to get this, we want to get that. We didn't have those resources before. People, they talents was its survival. I feel like we are people of survival. No matter, put us in any situation, we're gonna make it work, no matter what it is. And I feel the same way about what it is now. We just have to tap in. We got to pull together. We just got to start thinking. We got to think differently. I mean, this saying, he said he's going to take us back. So that means it's not new to us. And we got to think about, where were we back then and what were we doing? So was we better off separate, or are we better together? I don't know.
It's gonna be a long 4 years watching the clown on TV, but
So
it's gonna be a long
yes,
4 years. That's all I can say. Um, yeah, and then we'll see those people that voted for him. We'll see if they feel good over the next 4 years about their choices. And I wonder too if people are really ready for a woman to run the country. Did it really come down to gender? Did it really come down to ethnicity? I really feel like a lot of men are against it, but it wasn't just men that voted for Donald Trump either. I
yeah,
know a
no,
lot. I know some of us who voted for him. So
yeah.
I mean,
Um,
we'll
and,
see.
Yeah, and they say the lesser the evil, but we just got to think about, how is this going to affect you and your family? Some people feel like they like his policies, they like what he's doing. Oh, he's putting the borders up, he's doing this, he's doing that. But you got to think about all the other things that's in place too, and just be ready. That's all I can say, is we just have to be ready. We have to keep our eyes open, and we got to prepare our home, because we don't know what's to come. So
Yeah,
we have
we'll
to
get
be
through. We
ready.
got through the first 4 years. We'll get through these 4 years, and we'll just halfway through. Let's see some of the comments. I am proud of Trump, but truthfully, I don't care. America is a sellout. Hey, Nicole, how are you?
Oh,
To be honest, I didn't wake up surprised. I had a feeling he would win. Now we know the results. We get to choose our response to the information given. I just hope for the best. I think that's all we can do. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. As they say, the people have spoken. I'm just waiting for Project 2025. It's on the way. Yeah. And I got my own 2025 project. I know that's right.
that's right.
I know that's right.
I'm with you there.
I remember. Go ahead.
No, I just was going to say that they already had a plan in place, right? So we thought that we had this in the bag, and it wasn't, but we still should have had a just in case plan, and we did not. We have Nothing. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't. I never thought we had it in the bag at all. That was never my thought. I knew it was going to be. I knew it was going to be. I actually thought the race was going to be tighter, but I never thought like, we got this. That was never my thinking because I see the people that's out there that support Donald Trump, regardless, no matter what kind of idiot, the things that he says is idiotic. It's crazy, but people still support him. I will say that personally, some of my views do align with some. Like I have views that align with both sides, so that's why I haven't decided myself that I am not going to be at one party or the other. I'm going to make my decisions back on, uh, in regards to that. But specifically, this president, I was not this guy. I would not dare back him. Just, but it is what it is, and we're gonna have to ride these 4 years out and see what happens. And maybe there's a reason white men don't want a woman, especially a black woman, running them. I don't think either. I don't think so either. Hey, welcome back. We're happy you're back.
Hey.
All right, so we'll see y'all. I'm gonna stay off the TV and the social media for the rest of the week. I don't want to engage. I don't want to see. I don't talk about any of it. And I definitely don't want to see Donald Trump on my TV. So hey, Helen, how are
Hey,
you?
Helen.
Hey, what's that look for? What's the face for? All right. So the other thing, Diane, that was in the news this week. Let's see. The other thing that was in the week that he's definitely nerve wracking was that Quincy Jones passed away.
Yes. Way. Yep.
Quincy Jones. I want to share some things about Quincy Jones in case y'all didn't know. Man was like talented. He did some amazing things. He passed away this November 3rd at 91 years old. 91.
Um,
If anybody's in their 90s and they pass away, that's when I feel like okay, they were old. They lived a good life. Because I don't feel like you're old until you're like 90 or near 90. If you're in your 70s, I'm like, you're still young. But I feel like he led a really great life and a legacy. So Quincy Jones was a record producer, a songwriter, a composer, an arranger, film and television producer. He produced The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, in case y'all didn't know, where Will Smith got his start. Over the course of 7 decades, his career spans across 7 decades. He received many accolades, including 28 Grammy Awards, 28 Grammy Awards, a Primetime Emmy Award, a Tony Award, as well as nominations for 7 Academy Awards, 4 Golden Globe Awards. This man had so many awards and just lived just a great life. He came
yes.
to prominence in the 1950s, where he was a jazz arranger. Did you know he used to collaborate with Frank Sinatra? I did not know that.
Didn't know
Did you
that.
know that early in his career, he and Frank Sinatra would collaborate a lot on projects. He produced three, count them, 1, 2, 3 of Michael Jackson's most successful albums: Off the Wall, Thriller, and I'm Bad. In 1985, now some of y'all might be too young to notice, but a lot of us know. Remember that song, We Are the World, We Are the Children, was a huge, like packed with stars like Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie, Bruce Springsteen, Diana Ross, Stevie Wonder, Kenny Rogers, Tina Turner, so many more. It was just like a star-studded group of entertainers, singers who were a part of this song that Quincy Jones produced. And they raised money for Ethiopia, for famine in Ethiopia. It was like a huge project. You don't see stars getting together like that and working on a project. I don't think I've ever seen that since then. But I used to love to watch it because I used to love Tina Turner. just to see all the faces out there in a sense. So I'm gonna look at some of the comments. Diane, I'm gonna let you chime in here too. Love Saxon the Gardener. Had no idea he made that theme song. They use it as a theme song for Austin Power. See, I didn't know that either.
You know that.
He lived a long life and made an impact. That's a beautiful thing. It's sad, but he was ready. He had a great life in Hollywood. And Quincy might have been worse than Diddy. Oh Lord. Anyway,
I
controversy because
yeah,
we're honoring the man and his legacy, and he did great things, which I think Mo, like you said, he made an impact. I believe that we're all here to make some kind of impact, like use the gifts that God gave us to serve and make an impact. And he over 7 decades career and all these things that he accomplished.
that's a long time. That's a long
Like,
time. You said a lot. You covered everything with Mr. Quincy, Mr. Q.
yeah, so we just want to salute Mr. Quincy Jones for all of his what he gave us. Again, I say this every time we lose somebody in this industry and we talk about them. It's like what I love about art is that it never dies. It's always with us. We could
That
go back and see it like Elijah said, he didn't know that. We can always go back and look at the things that they created. It never leaves. That's an impact. That's something that people can see. So thank you, Mr. Quincy Jones, for your life and your legacy and your contribution. All right. Let's see a couple of more comments and then all right, let's go ahead. Diana, shift gears and move on to our music for tonight. We have a song tonight. So this month is November. It's a new month. Is this our first? Yep, this is our first Wednesday in November. And we are winding down to the end of the season. Aw, all the sad faces. I can see y'all just so sad, but it's okay because we're going to come back. But we are winding down to the end of the season, and we're kind of this month looking at some R&B songs, some really cool R&B songs by this particular song. I think it's by one of those artists that didn't get all his accolades and made some really great songs. So today we're going to do a song by Donnell Jones, and it's "Where I Want to Be." I really like this song. I was just serenading Diane before we jumped on. Diane, was I not giving you this
you
serenade?
was girl, you was.
So we're going to talk about Donnell Jones, but let me talk a little bit about him. Um, R&B singer, songwriter, record producer, and guess what? Oh, I forgot to mention this too about Quincy Jones. Guess where he's from? That's right, Chicago, Chi-Town, and so was Mr. Quincy Jones. So don't tell me greatness don't come out of Chicago.
Okay.
So he's from Chicago. In the mid '90s, he signed with Untouchable Records label, which was like a sub company of LaFace Records. He debuted his first album in 1996 and wasn't that much of a hit. But what Donnell is best known for is his second album, which is titled our song that we're going to talk about tonight, Where I Want to Be. And his lead single on there was You Know What's Up. Ooh, say what, you know that I like you. Okay, yeah. All right. I have to sing, y'all. I gotta keep going, keep myself. And guess who was in there? Lisa Lopez from TLC was featured in that song. So it was platinum certified, number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. And his follow-up single, Where I Want to Be, peaked within the top 40 on the chart as well. His third album, Life Goes On, he dropped in 2002, peaked at number 3 on Billboard's Top 200. And his fourth album, Journey Through Gemini, peaked at number 15. Don't tell me Donnell was just underrated. It's underrated. His compilation album, The Best of Donnell Jones, served as his final release. I forgot to put the year down. I think it was 2012. 12, maybe. But that was his final album. But he has some hits, hits. So we're going to listen to a little bit of his song. Remember that we do not own the rights to this
So,
music. We do not own the rights to this music. All right, Diane, we're going to listen to a little bit.
yeah. Okay, wait, hold on, hold on. Rather be alone. She doesn't fully I like that song. I wanted to play more than that. But
Said I left my baby girl a message saying I won't be coming home. I'd rather be alone. She doesn't fully understand me. That I'd rather leave than
she
be. Ah,
loves
so
on you, just don't treat them bad. Oh, how I feel so
okay. Now that
wonderful.
I wanna leave. You supposed to see the next line, Diane.
Huh?
I, you supposed to see the next line. You got that. Look, we had to go back and forth.
Oh, okay, 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 girl. Okay, okay, all right, okay. We're
But
gonna have you.
maybe we'll give y'all a little taste. But look, this is a jam. It's a jam, and I enjoy this song. I like just the little beat, the melody, but I love everything, almost everything R&B from the 1990s. I'm just like a fan, just because it was just such good music. And my sister, I say this too. My sister always makes fun of me because that's what I listen to. I rarely listen to the radio. I'm in the 1990s, y'all, and this was a hit. Those very first lines where he said, I left my baby girl a message saying I won't be coming home. I'd rather be alone. She doesn't fully understand me, that I'd rather leave than to cheat. And then it says, if she gives me some time, I could be the man she needs. But there's a lot of lust inside of me. And we've been together since our teenage years. I really don't mean to hurt her, but I need some time to be alone. All right, so that was a lot. I kind of did the whole verse. I'm not, you know what? Diane, do you want me to jump in and talk about my thoughts on that verse, or do you want to go first before I jump into it?
You there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, my initial thoughts to this is that there's so many. Let me start with this. I feel like it's very mature. Like it's very mature. Like this person is really in tune with their own needs, very in tune with their own needs. And the fact that he said, oh, I hope y'all get into this conversation with me tonight. But the fact that he said she doesn't fully understand me, that I'd rather leave than to cheat. I like that line stands out to me more than any line because most people don't think that way. Most people stay in relationships and they cheat. And that's why I say it's like a very mature way of thinking because most people want to have their cake and eat it too. But he's saying she doesn't fully understand me that I'd rather leave than cheat. So on her end, she's like, I still want to be with you. And he's saying, you know what? This is not what I want because I don't want to hurt you. I know that I want to dip and dap and do this, and I don't want to be with you and do that. So it's just so much in here that we could dissect, but I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to look at a couple of comments, then I'm going to go over to Diane. So Diane, let's see what they said about this song. What Nicole said first, that's her song, and she said, I love old school anything. The words of those songs got me through some things. These are words that we all wish we heard from someone in our lives. At least he's being honest, but he also can't expect her to wait on him and be ready when he's ready. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And let's see, and we could talk about that in a minute. Hey y'all, my initial thoughts were, I love you, but I can't be with you. Who you need me, who I can't be who you need me to be. So I love you enough to let you go instead of dragging you along. I can respect that because it's meant to be. It will come back. Exactly. That's how I feel, Bria. I'm like, I can respect your honesty. To me, I feel like people are not transparent in relationships. They are not transparent and just like Be honest and just lay it all out there and give the person an opportunity to decide what they want to do as well. If she decide to wait, that's on her. But Diane, I'm kicking it over to you.
I really like this song, and it's a sad song, but I like it. And I'm looking at I'm being a receiver of his words, right? When he says, he left his baby a message. First of all, you left her a message, you called her on the phone. Because I want that thing they had.
That was a no-no right there.
Right. You called to leave her a message. But what the thing that hurts when I think about the song, so like I said, I'm the receiver, is when he says, and we've been together since our teenage years. To me, this is where, yeah, he's saying that he's mature and everything, but this is where, okay, they teenage years, so I'm assuming that they adults, maybe they are in their 30s or young, early 20s, late 20s. She's invested a lot of time. So it's not that easy to say, well, you know what? I really respect what you're saying. You got to go out, you got to sow your oats. Because he said it's a lot of lust. So she's probably his first girlfriend. He probably haven't been with anyone else. And he, want to sow his oaks. But she's already invested so much. I can feel the hurt from being receiving and you saying, you know what, baby, I love you enough. I'm gonna let you go. I'm just not ready. Let me get my thoughts together. And I'm like, I've been here all this time, and now you talking about getting your thoughts. We done been together for 10 years. And now you talking about you want to leave. So that's why I said I'm, being a receiver of his message. Yes, it's nice that he's saying that and everything, but you wasn't you wasn't mature enough to say these mature things to me in person. You left me a message that you won't be coming home. You won't be coming home. So you're not even giving me a chance to discuss it. You just let me know that this is what it is. I love you enough because I don't want to cheat on you. It's the lust inside of me. But do you really have my best interests? Do you really that we couldn't sit down and have a conversation so that you know that I'm crying now because I'm upset, but you're not even there to hold me to console me. Yeah, Donnell, I like the song, but yeah, that's my take
You
so
know
far.
what? I agree with you with the phone message thing, because that's the same thing I was thinking. But out the other part, I wrote down a lot of little thoughts and questions as you were talking. But definitely that was like not the cool way to do it. You don't bring up nobody. You don't tell nobody that open message. But I also wonder if the reason why he did that was we don't know. Maybe there were other conversations where he said she doesn't fully understand me. If there were other conversations that were had where she wasn't really digesting what he was saying, and so he was like, "Let me do it this way." That's what I was wondering. When he was like, she doesn't fully understand me. I'd rather leave it to cheat. Now, I kind of got the impression that maybe there were some other conversations. Let's see. Look at some of these comments. Let's see. Mo said, short term, I think it's easier to cheat, but long term is better to just leave. Eli said, distance makes the heart grow fonder. If you love something, you let it go. And if it comes back, it means that much more. All that stuff. Uh-oh, what's gonna go here? When people don't want to be with you, it's nothing you could do or say. There's nothing you could do or say to make them stay. Yeah, absolutely. Like if they are done, they're done. But I wrote some questions down when Diane was talking. I'll get to them in a
Yes.
minute. Um, I was in a relationship with my ex from when I was 16 to my mid 20s. Biggest regret in my life. I wish I would have dated instead of committing to someone at such a young age. Not just dated, but focus on me instead of a relationship. So I understand the sentiment of feeling like you've got to lust inside. You got lust inside from being in a committed relationship since a teenager. And that's the same thing I
Yeah.
was thinking. Like that's pretty. I mean, it's rare, and you do see it because one of my friends from high school, she married her husband. They're still together, and they're in their 50s, and they were young. But it's rare that somebody's going to be with somebody that they were with teenage years. So when you're a teenager, and I'm sure all of you remember your love as a teenager, especially your first love, you feel all this connection and things like that, and you're with this person, but you also, like Mo said, there's some things that you probably feel inside that you might have missed out on. I was young when I got committed in a committed relationship, and everything in my life was backwards. So I got married and all that stuff at a very young age. But I didn't feel like I missed out on anything, but I could understand his sentiment. Just because we've been together all this time, does that mean now I have to stay with you because you want me to? And then when Diane, you were talking, I put down, whose emotions or feelings do you put first? Like, yeah, you do consider the other person, but do I stay in something that I don't want to stay in because I don't want to hurt the other person? Or is it fair for me to not hurt them and be honest and still be true to myself at the same time?
Yeah, I believe in self-preservation. You got to do first what's important to you because you're no good to somebody else. If he stay, he's going to be miserable. Yep, he's eventually going to cheat. It's just, both in a situation like this, both people are going to hurt. Like he said, within time. Where did he say that? He said,
And if she is right here, that's what everybody's saying. If she gives me some time, I
no,
could
but
be the
before
man.
that, no, before that, he says
Oh,
time. Within time, she will heal. You know,
where?
um, Wait a minute. Let me make sure I
Not in
read
the
that.
first verse. Not in the first verse.
Not in the first verse. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was still in the first verse. In the first verse where he says, now he's saying, she doesn't fully understand. I'd rather leave than to cheat. But then he says, if she give me some time, I could be the man. Wait, hold on, bro. Now you can't have it both ways. Like either you want to go and do your thing or not. I'm not gonna sit around and wait on you. And that's what everybody is saying. Like, no, no, you do your thing. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm not gonna sit around and wait for you to do what you want to do and then say, oh, well, now you're ready to be the man I need. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah, he wanted his cake and eat it too. It's like, I want you to wait. I want you to wait for me. Let me go over here for a little while and think and get myself together. You should just go ahead because maybe while you're gone, I'm getting myself together and I'm thinking of things
Mhm.
that I really want to do. And I might come to the conclusion that I don't really want to be with you anymore.
Yeah.
So um it's a sad song. It's a good song, but when I say it's a sad on the receiver, so I'm feeling the woman, him saying that to me, and I'm like, God, we've been together this
It
long,
does hurt. It hurts.
and
Breakup
and
hurt.
her and for him too, because he
Yeah,
loves, he don't want to
exactly.
see her hurt. Yeah, so
Yeah, that I mean, I agree with you. I think both parties are in pain. He still loves her. He loves her. He has love for her. He doesn't want to hurt her. So it's painful for him to say this. And that's why I think that line, if she gives some time, I could be the man she needs. That's like placating, like trying to make her feel better, that type of thing. I feel like, but at the same time, it's like had this conversation over the weekend was that do do people really want to know the truth? People say they want to know the truth. If you ask a person, do you want to know the truth? 9 times out of 10, probably more 10 times out of 10, everybody's gonna say, yes, I want to know the truth. I want to know. But when you give it to them, they get mad or they can't handle it. So did you really want to know the truth? I'm of the belief now that people really would rather be lied to than know the truth.
hmm,
But
tell me the truth. It might hurt, but give it to me because it's gonna hurt me worse. Especially, I know you lying to me. That's a problem. Yeah.
Mo said, and honey, I eventually cheated. I should have pulled the Donnell and just been honest and left. Oh, let me ask y'all this question, and I'm pretty sure everybody's going to say the same thing. Why do you think people are not honest? In this situation right here, where he could have done something different, why do you think most people are not just honest like he is? Bria said, Mo, I love your transparency. Bria, that's what we're about up in here, girl. Transparency. She better get a rich nigga, Eli.
Okay.
Cheating is a full-time job. Never again. I can believe
Okay,
that.
I
I
can
can
believe
believe
that.
that.
Yes, because
Like, how do you even have
lies.
time? Money makes
Thank
everything
you.
better. And people would rather hear a pretty lie over the ugly truth. I believe that. I'm telling you, they would, even though people keep saying, "Oh no, I want to know the truth." Okay. What is that? What does he say on what's the name of that movie with Brad Pitt? No, not Brad Pitt. It was Tom Cruise. And I can't remember his name. But anyway, he said, "You can't handle the truth." And many people cannot handle the truth, even though they say they want the truth. So this is the advice I'm gonna give everybody on this. Don't ask questions that
If
you
you
really don't want the
don't
answers to.
answer, that's the truth.
Okay. So
That's
he said that we kind of talked about the teenage years. He said, "I really don't mean to hurt her, but I need some time to be alone." I feel that. I think everybody needs time to be alone, especially say if you got into a relationship in your teenage years, you
yes,
had no time really to like get to know who you are, what you really want. And I think more than men that women fall into that trap, especially at a young age. I want to be in this, I want to be in this relationship, and they've never been alone and to really decide or to have boundaries and values to really know what they want. I think everybody needs time to be alone. Whether
yeah.
he might be a little late to the party saying this, but at least he's being honest with himself and his feelings.
At that age, a teenage, you don't need to be in a committed relationship anyway. You don't, because you don't, like you said, you don't know who you are. You don't need to be in a committed relationship. You're figuring out who you are, what you want to do, where you want to go. Today you want to, go to school for this. Then tomorrow you want to do something else. You want to live here. You don't want to live. I mean, you all over the place. You don't know what you
Yeah.
want to do. And now here you are with a relationship. And I feel like with women, we have the idea of this fairy tale life. Oh, I got a boyfriend. I got to just be everything to him and be nothing to yourself. So putting all your energy into him. Yeah, at a teenage, you don't have time for no. I always told my boys, you don't have time for no girlfriend. Oh, yeah,
Right.
Kadeem got a girlfriend. No, he don't have no girlfriend. Kareem got a girlfriend. No.
I
That
used to tell my
kid-
son that
yeah.
too. You don't get no girlfriend. Go
You don't need
that's
to because you don't need one. I said, listen,
right.
as soon as some things happen, that's all you're gonna be thinking about. Listen, you don't need no girl because you need to get to know who you are and enjoy that time of your life when you a teenager. So many different things to do. You in this a committed relationship.
Yeah.
Now here he go. He done found himself because he see that his eye is wandering and he's starting to pick up feelings for other women. He's being attracted to them, and it's like, oh, this is too much now. This too much for me. Like he's probably fighting. Like so. Yeah, teenage. Yeah,
So in the chorus, it says, "But when you love someone, you just don't treat them bad. Oh, I feel so sad. Now that I want to leave, she's crying her heart to me. How could you let this be? I just need time to see where I want to be." So the very first time part, I thought about this. He said, "When you love someone, you just don't treat them bad." Do you think he's talking about treating her bad by being honest and telling her this? Or do you think he's saying treating her bad by cheating on her?
to me by cheating on her because I feel like he's telling her, "Let me. I gotta go. I don't want to cheat on you. I don't want to hurt you, even though this is hurting, but I don't want to hurt on. I don't want to hurt you in that way. Yeah, because it's no what. Yeah, that's what I feel. Yeah,
Let's see, let's read a couple of comments. "I wasn't honest because I didn't want to hurt his feelings by leaving him. As I matured, I realized that my feelings mattered too. And if I wasn't really happy, I needed to not continue to waste his time or mine." And that's fair, right? That's fair. Let's see. people don't want to truly hurt people, but they know their wants and needs. So it's like a seesaw of emotion. It's like, I don't want to hurt this person, but I know that this is something that I want something different. So it is difficult. It's hard to have those
Yes.
conversations. Yeah. I think sometimes people aren't honest because they're not 100% commit. Oh, that's good. They're not 100% committed to leaving their current situation. So they cheat and then eventually it gets out of control. Okay. So like they're like, I might still want to be in this, so I'm not gonna leave it. I'm just gonna go out here because I still want to be here. What did I say at the beginning? Have your cake and eat it too. So
Mhm.
that's basically what I said. I took it as cheating on her. Okay. Okay. Because I thought that it could also be like sometimes people feel like your emotions or the way you feel about something is an affront to them. Like it's something that you're doing to hurt them instead of something that you're doing for yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's not intentional, even though somebody they both persons are gonna get hurt. And even though maybe it might seem like the other person is getting hurt worse than the person than the giver of this, like he was telling her. But yeah, no, I don't think it's intentional. I don't think it's something like I'm just, yeah, I don't think it's intentional.
No, and I don't think it's intentional, but I think because it's all about emotion, sometimes if I'm in a relationship and then the person is saying this isn't working for me, I want to end it. The other person feels like you're hurting them, like you're doing something to hurt, which it does hurt them, but it's
Yeah,
really not about them, it's about you. Do you know what I mean? And I
yeah,
think that's where the biggest divide comes in communication with people. It's like, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm sorry that the thing that I'm feeling or that I want to do is hurting you, but I'm really not doing it to hurt you. I'm doing it for myself.
but you can't
So,
see that when you're receiving it. You
no,
can't see it, or because or
no,
you know it's like you leaving, you hurting me. What do you mean? You got to get yourself together. What do you mean you don't want to be in this no more? You love me, but you can't stay with me. That doesn't make sense. So I'm just saying that
right.
that's how
Yeah.
people feel. But it's the you got to do you got to do what's important to you.
People are conditioned to value relationships with others over their relationship with themselves. Most
Mm.
people don't even know how important it is to love yourself first. And you know what? You just said something that's so true. That is true. And you have to love yourself first. I think that you can't really love a person properly if you don't really love yourself first. That never makes sense to me because why wouldn't I want to eat my cake? It is a stupid saying, isn't it? Because I want to eat my cake. Give me all the cake. I think people also cheat because they don't want to leave, and the grass don't be greener on the other side. So they don't want regret. So they get their feet wet first. Oh, you saying like, let me go over here and dabble a little bit and see how it might be over here before I leave this thing. I need to make sure that grass is greener before I leave this grass. That
And
makes sense
it's
for you.
crazy.
That
And
makes sense
that's
though,
crazy.
because people are more concerned with themselves.
Or maybe they just want to go over there and just get a little bit and come back home.
And that could also be true too. But what if it's a long term cheating thing where you have a side piece that's different than a little dipping and dabbing? But I
Mhm.
still say the phrase,
Got a
although
whole nother family. A side piece is a whole nother family.
we have to unlearn that we are responsible for others' emotions. Yeah. It's hard though when you care about people. Like when you love somebody, you care about them, it is really hard. But that's something hard for everybody too, like you said, unlearn. We don't owe anything to anyone, but we owe ourselves everything. But again, when you love somebody, it's difficult to do. Cheating is harmful because it impacts the ego. What do you mean by that, Mo? Can you expound on that a little bit? Whose ego? The person that's being cheated on? Some people can't be alone. Some
I
people
believe
can't be
that.
alone. Some people can't be alone. And then when I cheated, I told myself it would be one thing, and then boom, it turned into a full-fledged affair.
And you had a whole
That's
nother
how those things happen. That's how those things happen.
yeah, she had a whole nother family. You didn't even realize that. Okay.
She said a full-fledged affair. Uh, he said, "Never did I imagine that you would play a major part in a decision that's so hard." And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, Elijah, I know what you're saying is all so true, but it's so hard when you care about somebody. It's hard. So, do I leave? Do I stay? He's still conflicted now because of her feelings. Do I leave? Do I stay? Do I go? He said, "I think about my life and what matters to me the most."
Right. I and he should feel like that because that means that he loved her or he loves her. Instead of he could just walk out and I mean he could have just not made the phone call and
Mhm.
he could have just been gone. He didn't have to say anything. But because he loved her, when you love someone, that's what you do.
You just don't treat them
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
He said,
And
you
he
just don't
feels
treat them
sad. Oh, how I feel so sad.
so sad.
Yeah.
Now that I want to leave, he does not want to hurt this person. He cares about them,
Yeah. But he
her,
want to
her
leave
feelings.
and within time she'll be fine. And he will
She's
too.
going to be fine. She is going to be fine in time. That's all it takes. Time heals everything. It
Yes, it
does. It
does.
might take
Yes,
so
it does.
long, but it will heal.
Take a
One
long
day
time.
you think that it won't, but it will. And then he said that the last line I said, he said, well, let's go to this. He said, the love that they share is real. And that's, she just did the same thing you said. But in time, your heart will heal.
Yep.
I'm not saying I'm gone, but I have found what life is like without you.
Ooh. Mm. Mm.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it is kind of sad being on the other end. And it hurts. Breakups
Is
hurt. The
they
person
do.
being cheated on, if you're cheated on, generally your first thought is, why am I not good enough? But if you know your worth, you'll know it's more about the cheater than the cheatee. Not a real word, but you get it. I do get it. Um, I think if I was thinking about the people in here, I'm sure that this person probably is thinking, why am I not good enough? If she started out in a relationship when she was a teenager. But I could see how a lot of people would think that. And it is a bruise to the ego. I could see that too, being a bruise, like, man, what's going on? But I was tell you, I was cheated on in my relationship where I started when I was a teenager all the time. But I don't know. And I never knew this about myself. There's so many things that I look back on that I didn't know about myself. But I never had that thought, like, why am I not good enough? It's like, what's wrong with him? You're crazy. Like, what is wrong with you? But time is just look how fast these hours going past. And we're gonna get to this question tonight. So we gotta what's going on. Y'all, man, we're gonna have to if you have some more questions or comments, you can bring back next week because we're gonna do like another little ballad, another little R&B song from the 90s. Diane, we have a song tonight. I'm sorry, y'all, for that swift change, but I did not realize how fast this time is going by. But we'll probably be able to jump back into this a little bit without what's going on. But we put this on the back burner last month because we had two songs we were talking about. But this month is back. What's going on? What question we have? Let's talk a little bit about it. Our question is about birth control. Now, generally, women are considered to be the one responsible for birth control, right? It's always on us. But the question today is why is the responsibility so heavily on women? And why aren't more men having a vasectomy? Why are more men being responsible for the birth control? How do you ladies feel about that? You feel like it's lopsided? How do you guys feel? Would you have a vasectomy if you're on here, you're a guy? Do you think this should be more like a shared thing, especially if you're married? Um, I know a couple of people that have had vasectomies, and guess what? They quite all right. They were okay. Okay, the equipment still works. In case y'all worried about that,
Okay.
lady. It's not a worry. I mean, I think men have this like perception, like, oh my God, but women get their tubes tied all the time, right? Women get their tubes tied. Women have to go and get what's that thing that they get? The IUD or birth control pills. You know, who's responsible for bringing a condom? I mean, I don't really know about. I guess that's on both of y'all because I would still take that just in case. You got to stay prepared as a woman. Um, You do. I'm not going to depend on you. Women, the ones going to have to carry the baby, so it's up to them. Oh, wow. You know what? That is said from a man's point of view. Yeah, that is true. That's why I was saying about the condom, too. Like, hey, I do think that we should, but let's just say we are a couple, the man and the woman as a couple. We're in a committed relationship or married, and we are, so we're intimate. Whose responsibility is it for the birth control? And why do women carry such the heavy burden of it all? Is it like Elijah saying, because they carry the baby, so they need to be the one that's the most responsible for it? Diane, what do you think about that?
I think it's a shared responsibility. I think it's something that should come to the table and talk about it because you're in a committed relationship. And I'm just saying, you get your tubes tied and he doesn't. But then if the relationship don't work and now he's in something and he's gonna have more children, but you want more children too. And now you got to go through a whole so maybe both people should go and get it done, period. Maybe not one person, both of y'all go. Yeah.
Let's see, because you think both should go, like you saying a tube side, or what we talking about?
Yeah, get your tubes, she get her tubes tied and you get the clip and snip. And they say they both are reversible. I mean, I don't know. He can
Tube
get it done.
ligation is not really, that's you're supposed to consider that a permanent thing.
Yeah, clip
Vasectomy
and
is
snip.
reversible, though.
What, the tubes
Vasectomy is
tied?
reversible.
Yeah,
The
tubes
tube
tied
ligation.
also too. I mean, that's what they say. I don't know. But I think that maybe not both of them, but a man could go and get his snip, clip, whatever you call it. Yes, why not? Yeah.
Most says I think it should be a shared thing and not solely fall on the woman. I didn't mind birth control. I took the pill, but I know a lot of women have negative side effects. And that's the thing about the pill. I mean, all types of negative side effects and gaining weight, and it could be a lot. Even if it's not like a vasectomy, because that's what we talked about. And I would say a vasectomy for a married couple or people who plan to be together. But what about the other things, condoms and things? Like men always want to do something without protection because, for whatever reason. And then I guess they're leaving it up to women and then they're walking away when these babies are made, which is a whole nother conversation. But let me see what these ladies had to say. Bria said, I think women is going to always be the mom. Men can just up and run off, and the baby is always mama's babies, no matter what. So if a woman knows she don't want kids and she has a plan, she knows what she got to do. Okay. Thank you, Bria. And then Nicole said, I think it's shared, although that isn't always the case. We end up bearing the load. We do. We do. Bree says, I think women are always going to be there. Men could just, oh, did I just read that?
You did.
Uh, Okay. Okay. I think it was up there twice. Let's see. They're going to always be mama's baby. So if you are not ready for that possibility, you know what you have to do to protect yourself. Okay. Nemo said, if y'all don't want any more kids and you're married, committed relationship, you should have a discussion and come to a compromise that works for y'all. It's not a one size fits all deal. Exactly. I agree with that. I think that more conversations need to be had, like intentional conversations, right? I mean, We on oops. We had a whatever. What are we doing? Are we planning to have are we planning to expand our family? If we decide yes, we want to expand our family, then hey, we're not using birth control. But if we are not intentionally saying this is now a good time to expand our family, then we should be having conversations about what kind of birth control we're going to use so that we don't have any more children. So I do think that responsibility should be a shared responsibility, especially in a marriage. Now, if you just dating people, you better do what you have to do, girl. Don't trust that. Hey,
Mm.
protect yourself. Do what you have to do, like Rhea said. All right. Well, you all, if you don't have any more comments, we're just a few minutes. We got a few extra minutes, so I'm gonna give you a chance to drop anything else you want to say about the show. We do have a new music. What are we doing next week? Do you know the song next week? I think it's "We Can't Be Friends." We can be friends. It's along the same line. It's about love songs. So I think that's gonna be a great conversation. I'm interested to hear what y'all gotta say about that. But we're gonna be back here next week. We'll be here the week after that, and I think that's gonna be our last show for a little while, y'all. We're gonna miss y'all so much, but I'm looking forward to our next two shows. Spending time with you on Wednesday evening. Share if you haven't shared this show tonight, please share it. Invite some friends to come out and wrap as we wrap up our last couple of shows for the season. Great being on with y'all tonight. Thank you for picking me up. I was dragging when I got on here, but every time I get on here, I feel a new burst of energy. So, Diane, can we play a little more of Where I Want to Be? Y'all, come back here next week, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, for Ladies and Lyrics. Then
Time. Me.
there's a lot of lust inside of me. All right, y'all. See you next week on Ladies and Lyrics.